So I'm not just waiting for you to run in it, I'm actually spearing it.
All right, guys, let me address something on this. So now, let's say now I know these guys, but let's say I had two brand new people come in for an introductory lesson. They're in their first night of jiu-jitsu and they want to learn some jiu-jitsu. And Corey here just said something. He said, well, here's something that because I have some other training and this is kind of what I would do. So do what you did. You see how he led with the elbow in there? And then he was like, well, that's kind of like, I don't know if I want to blend those or whatever now. Now, as a martial arts instructor, it's really important that you take something like that and you say, heck yeah, man, good idea, right? Well, make this guy, he's a brand new student. Say it's their first or second time coming. You don't want to be like, oh no, you can't do that, that would never work. And then he's going to go home, he's going to be, well, why wouldn't that work? Why wouldn't spearing someone in the sternum with my elbow before I clinch work? Of course it would work. Now if you got a student that's like, well, I would grab their hair and bite their face off, well, you might have to modify that a little bit, right? But for real, if someone has an idea like this, go. If that feels natural, go for it, right? Now let me show this. Here, I'll have you hold the camera again. Now we're also going we can do multiple ranges here. So when that punch comes, we started with up here, but I can also go ahead and punch him again. Whoa, I can get underneath it. I can come here, or I can come here. I want to point something out is where my head is positioned is the most important thing. So if I leave my head outside, I'm getting choked. Every new student that you get is going to do this. They're going to go for takedowns while they do this drill, and they're going to go like this. And now they're inside a guillotine choke or a crossface. Both isn't going to be good for you, right? So when that punch comes, whoa, you got to keep your head here or here or here. And if I'm going to lift this leg up, I'm not going to actually take him down right now, but I like to just lift the single leg here, okay? This hand here is supporting this hand. My head is here, and I just let him go. That's it. All right, let's keep training. You're going to go in and ask somebody about Elise, and they're going to be like, oh, dude, I saw you on the YouTube video.
Good job, man. Good job. All right, try that a couple of things again. Double, right? Yeah, Sorry. Right, good thing my sternum is like titanium. Yeah, I think that would work for real.
What we're going to do is I'm going to show these guys what happens if someone takes you down or if you take someone down, and then we're going to start implementing the first couple submission holds. In the past, for about 10 to 15 years, I had people throw each other every time because it looked cool, and then after the throw, we would apply the submission holds. The problem is new students, they don't know how to fall, they're getting hurt, their partner might not set them down gently, and so now we pretend that we're falling, we don't actually throw each other. Of course, we're jiu-jitsu people, we do throw each other, but just not in the first week or so, right?
Down, boom. Right, then I come in, you're kicking, yep, and then I back up.
I gotta remember.
That's it?
Yep.
Good.
Yeah.
Good job. So you guys are seeing in this next technique here, we're now learning how to survive the takedown. We're not taking each other down, we're just going down willingly, but we're learning how to survive that takedown, and we call stand and base, so stand up safely. If I arch my back, it taps him out. Okay. All right, now, as an instructor, we have to determine if this is the correct technique for our student. So this is the technique you have to get them to. But if you have a brand new student come in that was very hesitant, very shy, having someone choke each other or get choked on the first class might not be the best idea. You have to decide, okay? The guys I'm with right now, oh yeah, it's a great idea to choke each other. And I would say most people it's fine because it's jiu-jitsu, right? The rear naked choke is the highest percentage choke in jiu-jitsu, in mixed martial arts, no-gi grappling, so it's very important to understand it, right? So I'm gonna have you have a seat, Roger. Just start here, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get the middle of my arm, and by the way, I show this on another video, but I mean, this is like important concept. My middle of my arm goes to the middle of his neck, or the middle of his throat. This grabs my shoulder or bicep, and my hand goes behind him with my palm facing me. I take a big breath in to take away any space, and I try to touch my elbows together. So it goes like that. Now, I teach people like that because it makes sense But that won't work in a real fight because he'll just stop my arms and go, you're not gonna get choked, right? So really, I really wanna do is I'm gonna take my knuckle, I'm gonna drive it here. If this hand goes here, he can pull my arm down and submit me. So I, same time, hide it. There. Now, have a seat right on your butt. Now, if I had my hooks in, like this, okay, so my feet were in, I would then have the choke in, and I would fall to my dominant side. So if my right arm is the one that's in dominant, I would fall to the side, okay? If I squeeze, it taps him out. If I arch my back, it taps him out. So I do both at the same time, arch and squeeze. I'm gonna finish them real quick. Now the technique, thanks Roger, let's do the technique now. Now the technique is like this, come on up buddy. So now we're starting to put some things together so they understand jiu-jitsu. So now, he throws a punch at me, I come in to make the clinch. I'm not gonna throw my partner because it's his first day or his first week or his first month. I'm not gonna slam him on the mat. He's gonna do a little acting for me. I come here, he fell nice and slow, right? Now he's here, but he tries to get away from me. So I follow him. Go ahead, Roger. I follow him, I keep myself tight to him. I come here and I make the choke that we just practiced. My knees are high in his armpit because if he decides to try to stand up, my toes are right here. So go ahead and start to stand up. I feel that and I make the hooks here. And then from the hooks, I can roll him or I can keep him here and arch my back as I make the choke. All right, thanks, buddy. Yeah, so right now, turn that, so you don't have to fall to your back. You can armbar right from there.
And just like sit into it?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Just as long as you have that. I can see his elbow is right there. Yeah. So you hear, I'm just gonna move it. He's gotta turn a little bit more that way. Okay. Sorry, Roger, now it's gonna hurt.
Oh, okay.
See? Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
you can feel, yeah.
Yeah. So you don't always have to fall back, okay?
Okay.
So you guys may have a student walk into your school that has health issue where they can't fall back, or they feel very much like if they fall back, they're gonna lose their balance, they're gonna hit their head or whatever. I have an injury where it's very hard for me to fall back. And so you can finish them right from the sitting position also. You have to determine that as an instructor, which one you're gonna show. So a little tip that you guys will probably have to tell your students if it's their first day is in this position you can see Corey has Roger's armbar bent a little weird, where I don't know that it's completely affecting the elbow, which is right there. So what I mentioned to him here, I'm just gonna move your hands here for a second, is that the pinky finger, if you draw a straight line, it's to the elbow. So if you were to turn this, so your pinky's facing you, you'll have a much tighter arm bar. You'll be right on the elbow every time. Little pro tip, I don't actually turn the elbow so the pinky's facing me. I actually turn it drastically more the other way, so if they try to escape the arm bar doing the hitchhiker move, they actually fall right into the arm bar. But that's for another video. Or I might even come here.
Okay.
Right?
Now I see what we're doing here.
Now I see, and he's facing.
You know what? Keep that going for a second. We got the air conditioner going, so I hope you guys can hear me. But I want to talk real quick about a difference between what I've seen, and I have a video coming out about this, and I feel like it's actually horrible, is that a lot of traditional martial arts schools, traditional Japanese Jiu-Jitsu, traditional Judo, teach much differently than Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. The Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is very laid back, kind of chill, and I've seen a lot of traditional martial arts schools, and I've been involved in this, where I've had it happen to me, where the instructor, whether it's an ego thing or whatever, holds the submissions way too long. So there's gonna be some acting involved, where I'm not breaking his arm, but I'm here and he's just tapping and I'm like showing, oh yeah, look at how tough I am, class, you know? Go ahead, keep tapping like it hurts. Pretend it hurts. Right? Don't do that, you guys. I always tell my class, like, once it hurts and you have to tap because it hurts, you are now hurt, right? You don't want to get your arm cranked for an hour. I mean, you can do this. Okay, I'm gonna let go right away. Sorry, buddy. Always make sure to let them know. Is it okay? You good? You good, right? Okay, we don't be ultra respectful to our partners, you know? Don't ever sit there and crank on their arms to show them how tough you are or how much the technique works or anything like that. I strongly feel that that's one of the reasons why Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is way up and the traditional martial arts schools are not doing as well right now. What happened to end the lesson is that, Roger, you're gonna punch at Corey, you're gonna punch lightly and slow, not with the intention of hitting him, with the intention of him learning how to clinch. Does that make sense? And then as you're learning how to clinch, you're learning movement, footwork, distance, a little bit of courage, control, all that stuff, right? And it shouldn't be where Corey's getting punched in the face. It should be more like you're just throwing punches at him while he tries takedowns. Now, the takedowns are going to be the same. You can go in and make a clinch. Well, here, I'll demonstrate.
Yes, please.
I'm coming in clinching. I don't have to take him down every time. And I'm not going to take him down every time because the intensity will grow. So he'll bump me a little bit, and then I'll be like, oh, that's it. I'm going to take him down really hard now. And we have to make the intensity stay the same. We can't let it get out of control. And so that sometimes this drill is only 30 seconds long because we don't want anyone to get hurt or anything, right? But here we go. Go ahead. Start punching at me. You can punch me a little bit harder because it's me. So my hands are up, and I'm keeping my ground, and then... Oh, sorry. Okay. Yes. Now put it all together. Go in and make that clinch, and then kind of not really take him down, but let him kind of fall, and then pick a submission, whatever he gives you.
Okay.
Now we're having fun. All right, good job. All right, you guys, so that is how we end the starting point lesson. And then all we have to do is take like our several core techniques, and we've got about 10 core techniques, which is like the armbar from the mount, the armbar from the guard, the Kimura lock, the Americana, all those basic moves, and you get a student learning those fundamental moves, and then you incorporate into a drill like this, and that is what I strongly believe should be a student's first month or couple months of jiu-jitsu. They might learn other techniques, you might have a tournament coming up or something like that. They might learn other techniques as well, but those are the ones that are gonna show them true jiu-jitsu. It's gonna help them have a well-rounded jiu-jitsu player. You'll understand functional moves, and they're having a lot of fun, and that's what's really important also. Well, welcome back everybody. So it's day 2, not really. Editing, the power of editing, make it look like it's day 2, but we pretend it's day 2, and these guys came back for their second class. Now I want to mention something, and that is, well, first it's 100 degrees in here, and we have our gis on. But I talked them into jiu-jitsu, right? I mean, they had a great first class, they loved it, it was high energy. Now we have to learn some more technical things on the ground. And the way that I'm going to teach these moves, I'm going to be showing a lot of details, and it's important that you don't overteach the details to a new student. I'm showing the details because I'm teaching you guys. This is not how I would teach those guys. I might take a couple of these details, but I might not show all of them. And as their jiu-jitsu training evolves and as they move up in the belt ranks, I would show more and more details to them, right? Also, this generally doesn't happen in my school. Usually new people would come to a class with a lot of other people. And so if they came to a class with a lot of other people, we would still do the same techniques, but I would partner them up with somebody who is very likable and someone who's very knowledgeable, which is pretty much most of my students. Say most of them, right? So how about I do Roger on this one? So I'll have you hold. Okay, so we're gonna start in the guard today, and we're gonna do the armbar from the guard. So you come right down on your knees. Okay, so the armbar from the guard, I'm gonna show the perfect armbar right now. And I'm going to show all the details. I'm going to make it amazing, but your students, it's okay if they don't hit every detail right away because they're going to learn in steps, right? Also, in my opinion, it's more important for a new student to learn these submissions and sweeps off their back, because if you're on top of someone in the mount, even though it's easier to learn the techniques in the mount, in my opinion, and the reason it's easier is because your hips don't have to move all the same ways, but if you're on top of someone in the mount or side control, you don't really need jiu-jitsu, but you do if you're on your back. So here we are on our back. Okay, so someone who's new to jiu-jitsu, they might not know what to do with these arms, but someone who's more experienced might catch your gi and posture up. So if he was doing this, posturing up, first thing I would do is break this grip and then trap his arm. Now, if his arm was already here, I could skip that part, right? But anyways, if he's catching my gi and he's posturing up, I have to break this and catch his arm. I'm catching his arm here with my hand cupped over by his elbow and tricep. Now, at the same time, my left foot goes to his hip, my left hand goes to his shoulder. This does not grab inside his collar. The purpose for the shoulder grab here with a chunk of gi is to take my forearm against his jaw or his chin so he can't put his head down. That's all I'm doing is moving his head. My foot on this hip allows me to raise my hips and turn my body. So I raise my hips, I squeeze, I turn my body, and as I turn my body, my right leg goes up his back. Now that got me perpendicular with him. So he's going that way, I'm going this way. I continue to use this hand to kind of bring my leg over. Now I squeeze my knees. And now again, we're perpendicular. He's that way, I'm this way. I squeeze my knees and I raise up here to make the arm bar. Sometimes a new student might fall down. If they fall down, go ahead and just lose your balance. If they fall down, no problem. I've got the arm bar right here. Okay, let's come on back, Roger. Now I'm kind of a bigger guy, but if I was lighter, he may have the idea to stand up and like slam me or something. If they stand up, as he's standing, I just hook his leg so that he can't lift me up off the ground. Now I'm pretty big, so he wouldn't lift me anyways, but you know what I'm saying. Okay. So that's the armbar from the guard. It should be one of the very first submission holds a new jiu-jitsu student learns.
Anyway.
Yep. Okay, so here we are, guys. Corey on his back has never seen this move to my knowledge, so he's learning it also. He's gonna break the grip. Good job, buddy. He's gonna trap the arm. Now I'm right here to help him out, so that if we're gonna add a lot of details like this, I've gotta be right here by him. I can't just leave my students, right? So this hand here is gonna go to his shoulder. Then your left foot on his hip, good. And now, as you bring your right leg up his back and now pivot yourself, it's gonna help you turn. There you go. Corey had mentioned something to me, guys, about him not being very flexible. And I'm not flexible either. I never really have been. And jiu-jitsu is a lot more about turning your hips than flexibility. Not that flexibility is bad. It's always better to be flexible. But if you turn your hips correctly, you won't need to be too flexible for this. All right, now try to bring that leg over. Good job, you got it. Now try to squeeze your knees as you raise up. That's it, you got it. Make that pressure. There's just a really good starting point for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. They're understanding that Jiu-Jitsu is designed to be a martial art where you take your opponent to the ground, where you survive a punch, and then from the ground that you defend yourself, and that you survive. That Jiu-Jitsu is really about survival. A lot of martial arts schools right now, unfortunately, think Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is about points and plastic medals and plastic trophies. And it's cool, you know, the tournament style of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is very, I always use the word strategic because it is, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful martial art. But Jiu-Jitsu, in its essence, and what made Jiu-Jitsu what it is today and what made it grow is that Jiu-Jitsu is about survival. And so it's important that we teach our students, especially new people, what Jiu-Jitsu is really about. Because if a new person comes in their first 6 months, all they see is like, you know, how to make a deep half guard sweep or transition from the butterfly guard to the X guard. That's cool, I teach that stuff too. Then a new student gets in a real fight, they're gonna get killed, right? And we want Jiu-Jitsu people, after a few months of training, they should be killers, right? So we wanna make sure that we keep ingraining this into them. All right, thanks for watching the videos, guys.